this is Farmer Teacher on Farming Simulator 22, and we're on the Platinum Expansion Pack. This is the Silverrun Forest Map, and we're doing some forestry here. I have purchased the largest piece of equipment here that harvests logs, that big blue one. And I like it because it's the only one that can get those very large trees that you have on the Silverrun Forest Map. They're like 35.6 meters, 7 meters tall or something like that. And you can't do those with the other piece of equipment. They are too large. But this one will get it. This is my tractor. It's a tractor upgrade. I've upgraded the standard tractor, and I've upgraded the winch. I've also upgraded the tires to wider tires with weights and the horsepower on this particular tractor. So it climbs the hills pretty well. It allows me to get up and down the hills, get my logs with my winch here. What you got to do on the winch is you attach it to the logs. Now, if the logs are close together, a little bit closer than that, you can get more than one log at a time. You can get several on there, as long as they're right next to each other, but it says I'm out of cable. So I'll haul the one log down, come back and get the other ones. This is running at 250% speed here. I'm not really driving that fast. Now that's my upgraded tree hauler there, up from the standard yellow one. The yellow one was $55,000, hardly had any horsepower, had 47 horsepower. Couldn't make it up and down the hills, barely. It was going like 2 miles an hour. A few times I thought I was going to get stuck when I had a load on it, so I upgraded it to that for $216,000. Okay, I'm attaching my cables now. That's what I meant. If they're close together, you can do more than one. Boom, boom. Drag those over here. Now, I'm a military guy. Used to be. Now I'm a teacher, but I was a military guy, and I was in the Navy Seabees, and we drove a lot of heavy equipment. So it's fun to me to operate some of these things, like this little gizmo right here. It's very similar to a crane and some other things that I've played around with, cherry picker, grader, some other things. The controls all have some basic, this way, that way, sideways, and up and down. So once you get used to that, you can get pretty good at it. I'm not saying I'm really good at it yet, but it does bring back a few memories just playing with some of this stuff. Okay, I got both these logs down here. Release the cable. Turn my little tractor around. On the front there, I do have the forestry mulcher too, so I can get rid of the stumps. Once you learn the mechanics of these things, rotate the head, extend the reach, left and right, pick up the log, bring it over the back, I pivot it, line it up, lower it a little bit, bring it all the way toward the front, and then release it. Once you get the mechanics of that, it's not, when you first try it, it's a little difficult, and you have to learn, what does what. But once you get the hang of it, it's kind of fun. This tree hauler too holds a lot more logs than the little basic one that comes with the map. So I recommend you upgrade that thing right away, even if you have to get a loan to do it. All right, now what we're going to do is lower the boom there so I can go driving up to the paper mill. We have 2 points of reduction as far as logs go right now. It's the paper mill and also the turning point shop, the wood turning shop. Both of those, you just feed it logs and it spits out products that pay you money. So we're going to take this. I forgot to fasten these down. Don't forget this, because I have dropped logs before. So you want to go through and put your straps on there so you don't lose some of your logs on the way. In fact, on the way you might actually see a small log on the side of the road that I dropped earlier, and I can't remember to pick it back up. But it wasn't a big full-size log. It was one of the little tips. So this piece of equipment here pulls pretty well. Goes 12, 13 miles an hour. Doesn't hardly notice the hills. It still pulls even with a load up the hills. Slows down a little bit, but not like the base model there, that yellow one that dropped down to like, 2. I really thought I was going to get stuck when I was carrying a load. So on our way to the paper mill. Farm Simulator does a great job. Look, you can see the little exhaust coming out when you accelerate or hit the gas or hit a hill. Engine noise changes. They don't miss much. They're on point as far as their algorithms for their software. Okay, that's the paper mill on the left. What you want to do is cross over the water and go around behind it. Now, the yellow piece of equipment, an advantage it had is a little lower and it could go all the way through the tunnel from the other side. You can't do it on this. That's why I went to the back. So you pull it in and then you just go and, make the sail there, offload your wood. But you can't go all the way through the tunnel, so you're going to have to back out. It's got that overhang there, and it hits, even with the boom lowered all the way down. So you go back around here. You do want to notice, and hard to tell here because I'm going, fast, but I am glancing here and looking at the train track because you can get hit by a train if you're not careful. You don't really want to do that. I'm going to see if the AI is going to take me over there. Let's see if it'll work. Doesn't it? Sometimes it works. Yeah, I got an error. Sometimes it can't find the path. Sometimes when it does that, if you restart the game and it starts working again, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Sometimes you just got to click in a little different spot. It's a little bit finicky. But it's still pretty cool. What I was going to do is have the AI do it, and then I was going to do some other stuff while it was working, but that's okay. We'll just, move along here and going back close to where we were. So right now, as far as wood goes, like I said, I got 2 points of production. The paper mill that makes paper rolls and paper cartons. It cost $130,000, well worth the money. And then we have the wood turning shop, which produces out of logs, you can make some of the stuff that it makes. You're going to need some other finished wood to make the rest of it. Now we're back up at the mine, and what it is you got this stack of iron ore here, and these 2 pieces of equipment. You got the loader and the dump truck. We're going to load this up and then take it to the iron furnace. Now, these pieces of equipment, you don't have to buy, you don't have to lease. They're here for everyone's use, which is pretty cool. You don't have to do maintenance on it. They're just free to use. You don't have to put gas in it or diesel. Different concept in this map than, as far as the previous maps go. So that's kind of interesting. But the iron ore is a money machine. So I'm just going to load this up until it's full. And you can tell because your last load, all of it won't go in there. Last load from the loader. Now what I did is I purchased this piece of land, and then I put the iron furnace on there close so I don't have far to drive with this dump truck. Should be getting close to full. One more load, I think. This is fun playing with this too, because I used to do a loader sometimes back in the CBs, and it's kind of like, deja vu when I played with this piece of equipment. Now you have to get out and walk over to the next piece of equipment. You can't use your little thing and shuttle between your equipment because you don't actually own this. If you do that, it's just going to click over to one of the things you own. There's my iron furnace right over next to this stuff. So I can dump this load in there. This thing's a money machine. It's cranking out, steel that you're selling, or iron, metal. You're selling metal. And it's very profitable. So that's what you want to do. And like I say, you just keep an eye on that and make sure you keep iron ore in your furnace. But I just want to show you a little bit of logging, a little bit of my iron furnace, That's all I got. So give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time with some more hints and videos. See ya. Bye-bye.